All right, everyone. So the video yesterday was very well received, so I figured I'd do today's video of cutting up and packaging. Chickens here, got some set up over here. I just pulled them out of the cooler. We're about to start cutting them up. I go pretty fast, at least I think I go pretty fast. And then I also have a fan in here, so hopefully that doesn't create too much background noise in this video. So quick, I already washed my hands with double patting. But yeah, so birds here, they've chilled overnight, and you see this one, the wing broke, so I went ahead and just removed it, and we're gonna cut this one up. Normally the birds that look like this, with the narrow chest, I really wouldn't cut up, just simply because it's not as profitable, but I could use the pieces of breast and legs and feet, or legs and thighs. So, and because this one's wing's broken, I'm gonna cut it up because I don't sell whole birds that aren't fully intact. So, flexible boning knife, this one, I think it's worn off. I think there's another number there, but it's a Dexter's knife, flexible boning knife. So that's pretty much all the detail that I give you. So we're gonna go slow. So I cut here on the inside of the leg cavity, and then turn around, lift that thigh up, and remove it. So we'll go slow, even slower. And then I take my chef's knife, or my meat cleaver, and I run it all the way through the backbone of the bird, like that. So, and then there is a line right here where two muscles come together from the leg and the thigh, and that is where I just cut and it separates perfectly every single time. From here, we're just going to take the wing off. I always double check the wings for any extra feathers, and then just set those to the side. Normally what I do is actually cut at the joints, here and here, separating the radius and humerus. I think it might be ulna, I don't know, whatever. The flats and the drumettes, and then you got the tip, which is over here on this side. I normally cut them up. So this bird doesn't look like it'll yield a lot of breast, but we're going to do it anyway. Let me remove this wing. It's very hard because there's nothing to grab a hold of. There we go. So I cut down on both sides, there and there, and that cuts the skin, and then I just peel the skin down. And then I'll get a closer video. Then I use the the wishbone as a guide, and I cut that down, then cut right here where underneath the wing, I call it the armpit, and then peel that off. And there's your chicken breast fillet, or chicken breast. This one is not very big. But I know some of my customers will appreciate the smaller portions, so we're going to go ahead and do them anyway. Only the ones that I'm cutting up. And then the tenders, like that. And here, I always cut that skin off, and you got your back. I sell in soup stock bags, and then you can also save your keel bone and sell that as well. And I just cut it right here, and it lays out flat, so I can stack them in the bag a little bit easier. And that's another way to do it. So we'll here's another one that I need to write down because the wings broke right there. So oh, the stand. The stand is I ordered this years ago, and I mounted it to a food grade plastic cutting board with a flange down here. So that's what this is. It's called a deboning cone. I don't know where you can order them, but because the company that I order from had closed up their business a couple years ago. Let's see. Oh, you can build a platform with a piece of PVC pipe that sticks up. That'll also aid in draining birds as you package them whole, or use it as a deboning cone. Of course, you'll have to have a separate cutting board to the side, but that'll work. I'm going to show you my normal speed on processing birds, or cutting up birds. So. But let's get you closer. Let's see. There we go. All right. This bird has a bruise on its keel bone. That could have been from anything. But because it has a bruise, it's not appeasing to the eye, so I go ahead and cut up the bird. And we're going to go a little bit slower in processing this one, so you can follow along. We got cut the skin here and here, beside the leg and breast. Flip around and lift up, so that separates the bone from the thigh. Then I take the meat cleaver, go down the middle of the backbone, like that. So you've got the backbone here. These are the kidneys that somebody was asking about, and if I remove them or not. I don't, because you can actually eat those, and it's just a tiny bit of added weight. Legs, and again, that line right there between the thigh and the leg is where I run the knife through. Let's see. Thighs, side. Then the wings, I cut on the back, and then I come to the front, cut through, and underneath the wing, I lift up the wing, and then just basically just touching the knife. I'm not really cutting. Back, front, like that, and then underneath, now lift and cut. There we go. All right, sorry. Cut on both sides, pull the skin down. Then I'm using the keel bone, or the wishbone right here, and using that as a guide to run my knife down, and then then cutting down beside the keel bone and all the way through, including cutting that where that tender is, and then just basically peeling the breast off. Like that. Then underneath of the wishbone and alongside the tender, then I reach in, pull that tendon on that tender is right there, and then I trim off any fascia, and then just peel that tender down, just like that. Again, on this side, same thing, underneath of the wishbone, beside the keel bone, pull this tender, this tendon right here attaches to the wing. So it's already been severed since you removed the wing. And then trim that down, and then pull that just straight down. And here, take the skin off, and then I just take the meat cleaver. And then that's the keel bone and body cavity. That's the keel bone there. And then lay that out flat, just like that. So we'll probably do a part 2 of this video with explaining the packaging process. I use a chamber vacuum sealer, and yeah, I haven't decided if I'm going to add it to this video or not, because this video is already 14 minutes long. So I'm going to start cutting up and packaging and getting things ready. Actually, hold on. This is a bird that is whole in its appearance, so we can package this one whole. This will go to the next video or video clip on sealing it. But I use this stand, and I use a shrink bag for poultry, and I just slide it over top, lift it up, set it over here to the side, and then I'll carry the tray over there to my vacuum sealer, and I vacuum seal these guys. Then I also heat shrink them by dipping them in hot water. But yeah, follow along. Okay, everyone. So I am now packaging the whole birds. I have placed them in bags, and what I do, these are the heat shrink bags, heat shrink poultry bags. I order them from Texas Shrink, Poultry Shrink Bags, or Texas Shrink Bags, or something like that. I don't know, I have it bookmarked. But I vacuum seal these guys in my chamber vacuum sealer. This one is a vac packet. I can't remember the number, but it's a floor model. It's got two bars. I can do 4 small bags or 2 whole birds at a time. And I also have a Vac Master 215, which can also vacuum pack a whole bird in it as well. And just make sure the bag is laid out flat, and sometimes you gotta squeeze the bird to kind of get it to sit correctly. And you have to play with the settings to make sure you get a good seal on the packaging, but yeah. Let that go. I think it takes about 25 seconds per cycle. From there, that's your vacuum sealed bird. You can adjust the packaging a little bit, and then I take this and dunk it down into hot water on using this as a handle. Dunk it like that, then flip it over, dunk it like that to tighten up that bag. But for right now, the water is heating up, and I'm just going to vacuum seal these guys and put them back in the cooler, in my walk-in cooler. So they'll be ready once that water just heated up. And that's it. The next clip will be packaging parts and pieces. So I did take the breasts and cut them into strips. That way when I package it, I can get it closer to around a pound instead of 2 smaller pieces, which was less than, I'd say probably half a pound or maybe just a little more. Less than 3/4 of a pound for the 2 breasts, and I prefer a package to be around a pound. So I cut them into strips, and then I'll just mix match them and try to do a pound of strips per package. But yeah, that's the next clip will be packaging parts and pieces. So okay, so I'm sorry about the glare from the window. But we got wings in this one, tenders, and then the breast strips. Wash my hands, and we're gonna start packaging them. These wings, I normally, like I said, I normally cut them in pieces with the drumette and the drumette and the paddle, or the wingette. Sorry, getting guard hair off of there. But the wings seem kind of dinky to me. So I'm not going to cut them up. I'm going to just package them whole. And I'm going to package them, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, Yeah, let's do 6. That's a good number in that bag. And then lay that package there. 2, 4, 5, and 6. Set that real quick. Okay, this one here has broken wing in there, so I'll actually cut that up later. And I have 2 extra wings, so I'm just going to put them in the package. And set that here. Now, with tenders, with normal size tenders, these aren't bad. These really, they're really not that bad size tenders. I do 6 per bag. So we got 4 there. 5, 6, and we'll probably do 8. Just that doesn't really look like enough in there. So we're just going to do 8. And I got 6 left. These will probably be my lunch today. So put those in there, just anyway. And then the breast strips. These are, I just took the chicken breast because they were very thin and just cut them into strips. So I can package them a little bit more per pack, so weight-wise. And we just drop them in there. And take it over here to scale. 0.88. So we just right at a pound right there. So we got a pound of the chicken breast strips, and I'll just use that as my guide to package the rest of them. If it's over a pound, that's all right. I just for the cost of the label and the bag, it's a waste when it costs me more to use those labels on more labels on less weights on packages. So Now with the regular, these were the Jackies from Freedom Ranger Hatchery. They were okay. They're not my favorite. I prefer Cornish Cross. Specifically, I like Ross 308 genetics. But I've also raised Cobb 500s, and Cobb 500s have been better. So. There we go. So we got everything packaged up. I'll cut that one out in a second. But yeah, let me go wash my hands real quick. Okay, now that hands are washed, drop these wings in the vacuum sealer. Just a little bit. And that's it. So then what I do is I package them. I set them over here, and then I label them and put I put 2 labels. So this is my farm label, basically safe handling instructions, farm name, number, everything that address. But I have it where it's set up where I can check mark chicken, turkey, duck, whole breast, tenders, legs, wings, thighs, livers, or hearts. I don't do that anymore because my label printer will, or scale and label printer will actually print date. I have it programmed with the item and price per pound, everything like that. So anyway, got one more thing, and that is the we got one more thing, and that is dunking the birds in the hot water, the whole birds, to shrink up those bags. So keep on following along. So I didn't actually do a video clip of the dunking the birds in hot water. If you do a YouTube search for shrink bags, poultry shrink bags, that should come up and show you exactly what happens when you do the dunking portion. I don't have to puncture a hole in it. I don't have to use a straw because the air is already pulled out by the chamber vacuum sealer. Anyway, the only other thing to do for today, I cleaned up everything, finished packaging and labeling everything, wrote down my orders for the wholesalers, and make some lunch. And that's what I made. I took the chicken tenders, seasoned them with garlic powder, onion powder, salt, pepper, and paprika, and a little bit of chili powder. And then stuck them in the air fryer for 10 minutes. So, yep, there's my lunch. Anyway, if you have any questions, feel free to ask below. If you like what you see, feel free to subscribe. Talk to you soon. Bye.